Hi, everybody. This week, we are zooming into SEMICON West and having conversations with members of the 3D Insights community. Today, I'm speaking with Neil O'Brien, General Manager of Finetech USA. The company manufactures high-accuracy die bonding equipment for complex applications in advanced packaging, die attach, and microassembly. Hi, Neil. Welcome.
Hey, Francois. Nice to see you.
You too. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing? What's going on? How have you been as a global supplier? How have you been navigating this pandemic?
Well, I'm a little bit tired of wearing this, out and about, but we're doing well. Just trying to adapt to the new normal. But yeah, you're right. As a global supplier, it's been a tricky 6 months or so.
Yeah.
As you know, our factory is our headquarters is in Berlin, Germany. So we were really dealing with multiple global sites that needed to really navigate the pandemic. So we have the factory in Germany, we have our office in Shanghai in China, as well as Malaysia, then Finetech in the US, and also Finetech in Japan. So it was,
wow.
It's been a difficult time, but we've been persevering and trying to be as creative as we can to support the customers. We are an essential business as most electronic suppliers are. So we had to be as creative as possible to support our customers, and I'm glad to say that we kept the factory pretty busy, during this time, and so it's nice to see things starting to reopen here, certainly stateside as well as in other parts of the world. So
yeah, unless you're in Arizona.
The numbers there are a little concerning, but
yeah.
They're still doing this at the office. So
yeah. So that's good.
Yeah,
so that means travel restrictions.
The travel restrictions, and really, we had to be pretty creative, as a lot of people had to be with technology. Thank goodness for TeamViewer and Skype and Zoom and WebEx and all those things. So we were able to do a lot of virtual things with our customers to really support them and keep them moving forward.
Well, and also I want to make a point that you have locations near your customer sites. So because you're global, you can, has it been possible to actually work with them at each local location?
Yes, especially a little easier now. Certainly in Europe, I think they were really focusing on driving as much as they could and avoid air travel. Here in the U.S. now, we're getting back on planes, and but yeah,
really?
With the office in Arizona, with the office in New Hampshire, we've been able to really kind of cover the U.S. pretty effectively. But yes, our application engineers are flying again.
That's good to hear. Maybe we're starting to see some breakthroughs. So tell me about Finetech's equipment migration pathway.
Yeah, for those who maybe don't know the history of the company, we kind of come out of the R&D world. If you look back at the start of Finetech, so really became very well established in tabletop R&D work and prototype work, and that's really where Finetech got its name, not only from microassembly, but I should also mention that we also do printed circuit board rework as well. So we're also been doing that for many years. But so as we grew and as our customer base grew, we really wanted to be able to provide a migration path from R&D to prototyping, maybe small scale production, high mix, low volume. But as we've grown, we've really gone into that full scale, higher volume production portfolio. So it's really been our focus the last number of years to really give that very nice migration. So you can start in the R&D lab, help develop the process. Our application engineers work very closely with our customers, and then give them a pathway to step up the volumes and move on to full-scale production. And of course, everything in the Finetech world has always been about high accuracy. So we're talking about half micron, 1 micron, 2 micron, that type of world.
Yeah, I would imagine that it makes sense to be able to use the same tool or the same platform from R&D all the way through. So that's a real advantage of working with Finetech.
Yeah, we've really focused on our latest software to really make it very seamless from one platform to another. So it has the same look and feel. So if you develop a process on one machine and you migrate it to a more automated machine, that movement from the lab to the production floor is very easy to do.
Awesome. Okay. So what about how do you handle your pre and post sales support?
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S. here specifically, it's really the same team that's doing pre-sales and post-sales support. Our application engineers, I really don't refer to any of them as as field service engineers. They're really focused on the application side of things, so they're involved oftentimes in the pre-sale process. We love to bond parts, during that phase and actually prove the capabilities of the machine. That's probably been one of the biggest struggles with the pandemic is that we love to have customers in front of our machines to actually touch them and see them in person, and that's kind of part of our DNA is being in front of the customer and learning about what they do. So we got to do a lot of virtual bonding and a lot of videos from our application lab. So that's the pre-sales side of it, and then from the post-sales and support side, we have a pretty extensive team here, well, worldwide, but also I can speak specifically about the U.S. In terms of our applications engineers, both in our Phoenix office and the New Hampshire office, that can support customers, whether it's troubleshooting an issue with a machine or asking about bonding force or temperature profiles, and hey, what should I do with this type of chemistry? So we can handle it from start to finish and don't need to rely on contacting the factory in Germany.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So now what about the newest? Do you have a new system available to customers? How is it different from the rest of the portfolio?
Yeah, we've been just in the last 12 months, really, we've released multiple, I should say, revision or new machines, as well as new generations of machines. So when the pandemic was hitting, we were at Photonics West in San Francisco. It seems like not too long ago, and we were showing our next generation of our Lambda system, the Lambda 2, which is a tabletop semi-automated machine. But if folks are on the Finetech website very recently, they will see a new machine called the Femto Blue. And we already have a Femto fully automated bonder, which is half micron accuracy, actually down to 0.3 at 3 sigma. And not everybody needs that type of accuracy. So we've decided to go with a 2 micron 3 sigma platform called Femto Blue. So not quite as accurate, but that also makes it a little more economical, which is good. And not everybody needs that type of accuracy. So this is a little bit more of a dedicated production machine at 2 micron, 3 sigma, but it does, as I said earlier, follows that consistency from machine to machine as far as software interface and development. So the goal for that machine is to provide a bit more of a dedicated production solution for folks, and so that way the speed's a little bit faster. When you're not worrying about 0.3 micron accuracy, you can move a little bit faster. But it has that same modular approach. So if you're dedicated for, let's say, a VCSEL application in optoelectronics, it can be set up for that. But if things change down the road and you need to move to a different type of chemistry, a different type of bonding application, the machine can be reconfigured for different technologies, as with all the Finetech machines.
And is this also for advanced packaging, or so less accurate, so not the real, I guess, the real high density products, but more like, is this for more of the sub-assemblies, or
it certainly will. It will certainly satisfy advanced packaging needs, certainly in the optoelectronics world, and photonic assembly. Not every step of the process really needs that sub-micron type accuracy. So there's still a lot of need in that 2 micron world, but also at high volume. And as you see the data centers and the demand growing for that type of product, this will have a really good fit for that market.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing all of that information. Where can people go to find out more about Finetech?
You can obviously on the web at finetechusa.com. And we have, you know, as I said, in this virtual reality that we're in, you know, videos can be very, very helpful if it's a little more difficult to come to our lab and step in front of a machine or come to a show in the future. So we have a good selection of videos on the website as well as product and data sheets. So the finetechusa.com website will be a good start.
Awesome, great. Well, thanks for joining us today. It's always good to talk to you. And to the audience, thanks for stopping by the 3D Insights booth at Virtual SEMICON West. Don't forget to download an issue of the yearbook and subscribe to our e-newsletter, and enjoy the rest of your time at SEMICON West. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.